This system has generated over $3 million for my clients and counting. Okay, now if you see me looking now, it's because I have my notes and I want to make sure I stay on track, because this is going to be one of the most important videos you've ever watched. Now, in my world, I have women who go on to create 20K months, 50K months, even 100K plus months with what I'm about to tell you, with the system and the process I'm about to share with you in this video, okay? So, first of all, let's look at it. You make amazing content, you show up, you post, you pour your heart and soul, you're on here daily, people see you, people know you, but if people are not buying, this is going to change the game for you, okay? So, let's see here, because I want to make sure that because when I do live streams, sometimes I get excited and then I like start talking to you in the chat, but I don't want to miss a single beat of this, because essentially today I had some conversations with people in my audience as like a market research thing, and I was just like, I need to, like, y'all, I've got to share with you guys what is up, okay? So you've been creating amazing content, you're showing up consistently, you're giving massive value, right? We know you're doing that. So if you're doing this, you're showing up, you're putting in the effort, why aren't people buying? Why aren't people buying? I'm going to show you the 3 mistakes that you're making and the 3 missing pieces, and I'm going to teach you how to turn yourself from a content generating machine into somebody who just actually gets paid for their work, okay? So first of all, for those of you who don't know me, who am I? I am Chanel Amoy, and I am the founder of the Rich Babe Society, and I am the creator of the House of Wealth, and I turn under-earners and underdogs into literal icons by helping you to become so irresistible in your business that you become the only option. All right, and so in this video and in this training, I'm going to talk you through what the shifts are that you need to be making, okay? I've had clients who they go from struggling to do $2,000 a month to creating multiple 5-figure months consistently from the methods I'm about to talk to you about inside of this video. Imagine, they were doing between $500 to $2,000 a month to going on to doing multiple 5 figures consistently in their business, okay, without having to burn out, without having to show up 50 million times. Like, if they do that stuff, it's from overflow essentially, not because they have to do that in order to make money in their business. So by the end of this, you are going to learn, let me tell you what you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn why your content isn't converting, and you're gonna have a 3-step system that's gonna fix it starting today. Let me know, drop some hearts or some emojis if this is something that you are excited to learn, because I'm excited to teach it. So first of all, before we dive in, let's talk about how much money you're losing from not knowing this stuff. Because if you are saying to yourself you want to make 20K months, 50K months, however many K months, how many months have passed that you've not learned this, and what is that costing you? So if you said you wanted to, let's pull out the calculator here. If you said you wanted to make 20K months consistently, over the space of a year, you're losing $240,000. If you are somebody who you're saying you want to make 50K months, because I know a lot of you do, in the space of a year, that's $600,000 that you are literally burning, leaving on the table from not understanding how to shift this, okay? So that's what you're leaving on the table. So here's what you're doing. Number 1, you're overworking. All right, you're posting, and bear in mind, I know what it is to post a whole bunch of times a day, but again, my clients, when they do this, it's from overflow, from fun, because they just have free time and they can do whatever. It's not that they're doing this out of, oh my God, how am I going to get people to buy? So what you're doing is you're posting multiple times a day, you're exhausted, it's overwhelming, right? You feel a little bit deflated because it's like people aren't actually buying. You feel like you need a vacation from your business. A lot of you might be burning out or just feeling overwhelmed and a little bit deflated, okay? You're working harder, but you're not making more money. Some of you might be over explaining yourself. So you come on here and you're teaching entire courses to people for free inside of the captions of your post. You are literally, and I've seen people teach this, like you're doing carousels and you're literally giving people a full-blown masterclass in every post. You're making reel after reel after reel, and the captions are long like this with step by step by step, and you are over-explaining, over-giving, over-exerting yourself in your content, and people still aren't buying. And you're like, you're putting in so much effort into this. You're sending out the emails with all this value, and it's still not working. You're here with a pen. Girl, get ready with the pen, okay? Get ready with the pen. So I have my notes, because when you see me have notes, you know that we're teaching today, okay? And what I'm sharing here is that this process has made my clients over $3 million and counting. And they're not burning out from doing this stuff, okay? So overgiving, posting, all that stuff. And again, I know what that felt like. I've been there. And again, my clients get to show up because they were doing it from just overflow. The next thing is that you're overgiving. And a lot of times you might be afraid to ask people for the sale, right? You might be just expecting them to find their way to your offer. Let me know if you've ever had that. I literally had a conversation with one of my hotties in the House of Wealth the other day, and she was talking about how, like, she's like, should I put the call to action? Like, I don't want to come off too salesy, too pushy, right? Right, serious. Listen, today was a rapture, okay? Serious as the rapture, okay? For real, serious, okay? So it's like we kind of expect people to figure it out themselves, and we see people talk about, oh, you want self-led buyers, and so you're hesitant to ask people for the sale, or you're afraid that if you ask people for the sale, you're gonna seem like you're doing too much, right? And you're afraid of that rejection feeling. So here's the thing, none of this stuff, right? Right, Anisha? Right? So the thing is, none of this stuff actually creates buyers. None of this creates buyers, okay? What it does is it creates people who love your free stuff, but they don't actually buy. So they love hearing what you're saying, they're coming for the value, but they're not actually converting into buyers. And I know that can feel discouraging, because you're showing up, you're putting in effort, you're creating this stuff, you're there with ChatGPT or whatever AI you're using, and you're coming up with all this stuff, and you're writing it out, and you're brainstorming for the business. Who's done that? Like, I know I've been there, brainstorming out to the gods, like this and this strategy and this thing, and pivoting and redirecting, and then people still aren't buying, and it's like, what is going on? Okay, so they're saving your post, they might like your post, they might even message you or comment and be like, yes, I agree, but where are the sales, right? Where are the sales? Your bank account is the same, right? So here's a real problem. Ready for the real problem? You think that more content equals more money. You think that more content equals more money. Take it from somebody who has historically created thousands of pieces of content. You think that making more content equals making more money, but it doesn't, because if it did, you would have the more money that you think it would create. Wouldn't that be true? So while you're here giving away house, cars, and land in your content, free content that's so robust, your competitors and the other people in your industry who actually have a mediocre product compared to you, or subpar, they're not as exquisite as you, let's be honest, they don't go as deep as you, they don't actually commit as much as you, they're getting paid for the thing that you're giving away for free, right? Over explaining, exactly, thinking more content, right, exactly, taking notes. I love that you're taking the notes, right? So the thing is that every single day that you delay understanding what's really the problem, you are literally burning cash. And I did this, I don't know if you were here when I did this calculation at the beginning, Alicia, but I said, if you're trying to make 20K months, if that's been your goal, you literally throw away $240,000 every year that you don't learn this. If you're trying to get to 50K months, that's $600,000 that you burn from not learning this. That you just throw it away because you're still showing up anyway. So the effort you're putting in would probably actually, not probably, would actually be way less, but you'd have way more outcome, okay? So let's look at it. What is your goal? What's your money goal? What if you could have your best month within the next 30 days, within the next month? Like, where what would you want your month to look like financially? How much would you want to be bringing in per month? You guys can share, even if you're watching the replay, still share and let me know in the comments what that would look like for you. Right? How much would your monthly revenue be that you would want to make? And if you don't feel comfortable sharing, you don't have to share it in the chat. But actually be mindful of that. And I want you to like take out the calculator and run the numbers. How much money have you left on the table this month that we're in right now? Because you haven't learned this yet. How much money have you left on the table this year? Q4 is coming up. How much money are you going to leave on the table in Q4 when you don't know this and you keep doing the same thing that you used to do? Not anymore. 25K. So 25K, so that means that's 75K between now and the end of the year. That means this month alone, 25K, that's based on the fact that we have 1 week left, 25K divided by 4, that's 8K minus that, that's what? $17,000 from this month alone that's been gone. Not claimed. Okay? It has to end. I literally today asked my audience, I said, what do you guys want to hear from me in Q4? And people were responding to my poll, DMing me, replying to my email, and they were telling me what it was that they were missing. And what I did was I had like a little Q&A with each person. Like I just answered their question. And as I'm answering their question, I'm getting more insight into what's really blocking these people. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the simplest thing to fix. But if you don't know, you just don't know, all right? So are you still hoping that your next post will be the thing that pays the bills or the thing that makes your business? So it's time to shift it. So here's what I discovered over the past 11 years, okay? Because, and I didn't start here, because when I started my business, I actually had 34 consultation calls and I heard 34 no's in a row, okay? Talk about having a strong stomach for rejection, okay? You just did full math in your head. Listen, my process is actually called the seductive sales trifecta, so I've got to keep it sexy around here. So for those of you who are watching the recording of this, Alicia is saying you just did full math in your head, #sexy. Thank you, girl. I am a nerd after all. So here's the thing. What I've discovered over the past 11 years and counting in business, I'm in my 12th year actually, is that magnetism is what sells. And it sounds so cliche, ooh, be magnetic. What does that even mean? What does it mean? I'm going to tell you what it means. Magnetism, not more content. Magnetism, not more content. Magnetism, not more content. But I'm going to tell you what that means. So I'm going to teach you my seductive sales trifecta. Okay? This is the exact system that I have used that has gotten me 60K months, working 4 hours a day, 4 days for the week, 16 hours for the week, $60,000 month. This is the same system that allowed me to have $25,000 cash. Speaking to your 25K, I did that in 3 days, cash, not sales, not promised revenue, not money that will come in soon, no, cash. In 3 days, this exact system. That's the same system, the same process that allowed me to have and continue to have 5-figure cash days, not payment plans, not money promised. I'm talking people pay upfront 5 figures, multiple 5 figures, days, okay? And this is the same process that has made my clients millions. And I'm not talking about people who are selling business this and business. I'm talking people who are selling the most woo-woo, ethereal things. Very serious. I see somebody reacted to Alicia's laptop because she's very serious, guys. We got notes about serious. Because I'm telling you, the conversations I had with you guys today, I was like, I have to come on here and talk to you. Okay? So this isn't just a theory. Okay, this is real life lived experience. This is the process that got me my first ever pay in full client when I had been rejected 34 times before, when I was actually still invisible, still hiding. I wasn't the confident person that you see coming on here doing live streams. Okay, in fact, there were no live streams at the time, but the process I used is the same thing that got me that. VJ is here. Hi, VJ. Right? So this is literally how I built my business. All right, so what I want to talk about, so VJ, welcome. You definitely want to catch the beginning of this. Obviously, we're warming up, we're just getting into the thing. I'm about to dive into the actual method with you in a second. But I want to talk about, 1 second, let me check here. All right. So, because we're going into the method, you ready? VJ, do you have your notebook as well? Make sure you have your notebook as well. Okay. So, number 1. Who's ready for number 1? Ready? Drop some emojis or some things in the comments. Let me know if you're ready for step 1. Because it's my seductive sales trifecta. That means we got 3 steps. I'm about to share step 1. Let me know in the comments. Drop some hearts, some things. Let me know. All right. Okay. I'm diving. So the reason this matters is because I've had clients who even yes, drop me those emojis. I want to see those. Like we're having a conversation. We're having a party here. So I've had clients who they've implemented this and they've gone ahead and had 38 consultation calls booked from one piece of content. Okay, one piece of content. Yes, 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 yes. Love it. No, it's all things. Love it. Okay, you guys are here with me. So number 1 is going to be a video. I want you to write down video. This is your magnet. This is step 1 of the seductive sales trifecta. Your video, your magnet. When I was a loser, not a loser, I had 34 no's in a row. I made 3 videos, 3-4-minute videos, and I had someone, and I was hiding. I posted the 3 videos on Twitter. If you know Twitter, tweets disappear within seconds. At the time I posted it on Twitter, and she found the videos, watched the 3 videos. She reached out to me. I didn't even have bookings on my calendar because at this point I was basically giving up because nobody wanted to buy from me and I was ready to quit. She reached out to me, and even though she was unemployed, and people would think, oh, she's unemployed, she has no money. No, she paid in full for 3 months of coaching with me. I was shocked, but I figured something out in that moment. Video, and not just any kind of video, because people will be like, oh, but I do reels, oh, but I go live. I'm going to tell you what kind of video, because it's not just any video. It's not just any video. Everybody here does video. I know VJ does video. Alicia, you have your video. I know everybody here who's watching, people watching the replay, you guys do video. You go live, you post reels. You post stories. You're not afraid of video. I'm not talking to people who are afraid of video here. Y'all do videos, but are they converting to sales? That's the trick. That's the thing. So we use also cooking, so if I don't respond, okay, I ran to the stove. Okay, girlie, no problem. So here's the psychology behind the video that you want to be doing. It's a teaching video that solves, write this down, a teaching video that solves, but this is not just any video. This is a teaching video that solves one specific problem that they have right now. Right now, the one that's in front of their face now. Why? This is building relationship, right? The psychology of this is building relationship. This is giving them a breakthrough. Because think about it. They're scrolling through social media and immediately they see a piece of content that answers a problem that they were just feeling low about. They were just questioning. They were just thinking about, oh, they're like, oh, I want to scale my business. They're like, oh, I want to leave my job and da-da-da-da-da. Or oh, my husband, this. Or gosh, I wish I could get rid of this belly. What is the thing that is their core problem in their forefront of their mind right now? That one video, teaching video that solves the problem that they have right now. Exactly. What this does is it gives them a breakthrough. Okay, it gives them a breakthrough. It's not a teaser. Because what a lot of people do is they are afraid to solve someone's problem because they're like, oh, but then if I solve their problem, they won't buy. It doesn't work that way. You're not gonna like untangle this person's whole thing in the one video. You're giving them an awareness. They have a breakthrough. They're recognizing something. So they're not making videos that are friends. So you're not making videos that are friendly and just doing funny reels, doing dancing, motivational like you're Oprah. No, baby, no. You're solving a problem, giving them a breakthrough, and that breakthrough is now setting you up in their mind unconsciously. There's a psychology behind this as the authority for this thing that they are navigating. Okay? So when they think that this is unconscious, they're saying, oh my God, she just gave me that for free. What the heck happens when I am with her in a paid container? That is when they've already psychologically become a buyer. Okay? We're not done. We're still on the video. Okay? So let me give you an example. Like right now, you're listening to me teach you this stuff, and you're like, shit, yeah. I'm giving you a breakthrough right now. You're like, yeah. Okay? That's what your video needs to do. It needs to connect with the problem they have in front of their face right now and give them an aha so that they're saying, oh, that's what I need to fix. That's what I need to shift. Okay? That's how that works. So I actually have different clients of mine because I have a course that I do, that I teach this stuff. And one of my clients, when she went through, she literally shifted this, and the sales, she had a video on her sales page. She shifted using my sales formula when it comes to video, and she had the conversions on her video go through the roof. Right, exactly. Lead by example. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So immediately her conversions on her sales page popped off, because before, it was like, oh, you're gonna get this thing, you're gonna get that thing, or we're talking, building relationship, sharing story, all that stuff. But there's something that happens on your conversion, whether it's a sales page. And by the way, this same methodology can be used whether it's a live stream, whether it's a pre-recorded, whether it's a sales page. I have videos. If you're a friend of mine here on Facebook where I'm recording this, I have a video pinned. And it is a video, and it's a 7-minute video, and that video has made me multiple 5 figures. It's a 7-minute video that has made me multiple 5 figures. It doesn't need to be the long, drawn-out video. It is literally a 7 or 8 minute video. I think it's 8 minutes. And it's made me multiple 5 figures. And continues to do so. Because it uses what I am talking about here. Okay? So here's the thing. There's a way to do the video. There's specific things that are in the video that you use that will build out that psychological trust with your people as well. Okay? Now, who's ready for step 2? Step 2 of the trifecta. Who's ready? This is actually where a lot of people mess up. Right? This is where a lot of people mess up. And let me know if you've seen this. Comment this below and I'll tell you the thing. Or you're dropping the links just in comments. Let me know if you've done this. I know for sure I've done it. And the reason I do it, what a lot of people don't realize is like, I'm a scientist when it comes to marketing and business. I'm a biz nerd. So I test the strategies. I test them, I tweak them, I watch, I see what works. And a lot of times you see people online and they're selling and they're using this strategy of the comments. And you're like, okay, I'm going to try this strategy because I see her, all these big people using it. Okay, perfect. Perfect, BJ. Right? Have you seen that? We've all seen it. But when you use it, are you making sales from that every time, consistently? I'm not saying that you won't make sales, because I make sales from comments. It works. But are you consistently, can you predictably know that you're going to make sales? Can you wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to make sales today? Or do you do it hoping that it works? The comment one has not been working for me, exactly. Has not been working. So that's the big mistake that people have here. It's the second thing we're moving into. Second step we're moving into. The solution to that is not comments, it's conversation. It's conversation. Not comments, conversation. Two different things. This is why people aren't buying. At this point, have you ever seen a post and they're like talking about comments and you just scroll past? Like it's kind of like ads. You know when you see ads and you see the little word sponsored and you just naturally like swipe away from it? The comments have become like that, where we're wired not to even look at it. We're wired not to even, like I saw a post today and it was a very highly engaged post and the person was saying something like 10 things women should do to have men, blah, 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 something like that. And the things were in the comments. I only read the first line of each comment. There were 10 comments. I read the first line. So if they were pitching something, if they were selling something, if they could transform my life, if they could fix my problems, I wouldn't know. And I don't care. I do not care. Like, I have to genuinely like the person to then go and like read. And again, guys, I'm a business nerd. I test this. I have my analytics on all my accounts because I'm testing this so that you don't have to. So that I can give you the thing that's simple that actually works. So a message, a conversation, a DM is actually going to convert way better. Now, let me tell you the objections to this, because I know the objections. It's like, oh my God, but what if nobody DMs me? This is something I'm having to reprogram my copywriter brain, right? So it might be like, okay, why is it like, you might say, oh, but you're like, what if people don't DM me? What if that's too many hoops for people to jump through? The person who watched the video, remember, in my work, I give my clients like a specific way to do the video. So once they've gone through that video, there's no way they will be like, oh, I can't DM you. I'm afraid to DM you. If they're the buyer, they're going to DM you. Also, if you're going to be working with this person in a high ticket container, or even in your membership or something like that, do you want people who are afraid to have a conversation with you? No, yes, I get it from a logistics thing. You may not want to be managing all these comments, but let's get you 25K months first, and then you can like, okay, offshoot that. Let's get you 10K months, 20K months, something, and then you can offshoot that to a VA or something, right? Or train someone on your team with this method. But a few conversations, especially if you're selling 10K packages, 5K packages, what, you can't have 3 conversations? Come on. There is a difference, right? Absolutely, Alicia. Absolutely, there is a difference. So one conversation is going to convert better than 100 comments. One conversation is going to convert better than 100 comments. Now, it doesn't mean that if you do the video right, that people won't then buy from the link in the comments, but you have to get the video right, and there has to be there's a psychological trigger, sales psychology trigger that has to be done that allows them to have the internal conversation. Because then they will go ahead and click the link in the comments, or they'll go and lead themselves and buy. So it's not that people can't buy, but for your high ticket things, I mean, somebody's going to invest 10 grand in your thing, 20 grand in your thing, 50 grand in your thing. I think it's okay to have them email you so you can have a 50K day. I don't think there's a problem with that. Okay? And I don't think there's a problem with that. And even if they're scared, the fact that they're brave enough to then still do it means that this is somebody who's going to get really good results in your work, because they're brave, they're courageous, they are not bullshitters, they're not afraid to like move forward when they feel the pull to do something. They are obedient to what they're called to do. Okay, they trust themselves. And I remember I had this client of mine. She was inside of my house of wealth, and we literally did some work around her magnetism. And when she showed up inside of someone else's Facebook group, she actually had 80 something people send her friend requests in one day. In one day. In one day. Imagine your audience growing by 80 people in one day without you having to run ads. I mean, I love ads, I don't have a problem with ads. Without you having to do a single reel, without you having to post 12 times, all you did was work on the self-concept and the ability to actually receive the sale and be an authority. And normally she actually said to us in the group, because we have a wins thread, we have a whole community in there with a sisterhood and everything, and she said inside of our celebration thread, she said she's had people in other groups like connect with her before, but it had never ever been that many people in one go. I need the 25K so my coach is entertainer. Yes, exactly. Right? Let's see what else we have here. So we got step 3. We're at step 3 now. We're almost there. Who's ready for step 3? Put some hearts or something. If you're watching this on the replay, drop your favorite emoji, something. Because this is the part where a lot of people get tripped up. Because I just said to you, you're going to have a DM. You're going to get them in the DMs. You're going to have a conversation. It could be a sales call. Could be a DM. Could be text back and forth. Could be even a thread, a conversation thread below. Could be even on the live stream. I'm having a conversation with you right now. Even if you're watching the replay, you're still having a conversation with me. You feel that. We're talking, we're vibing, we're having a conversation. Right? So it's scalable. Right. So the thing about it is that in the conversation, you're not pitching to them. Because this is where people are like, oh, I don't want anybody in my DMs pitching to me. Oh, I don't like people DMs. You're not pitching to them. They reached out to you. They've already self-selected themselves. All you're doing is holding space and then prescribing. So you're not pitching, you're prescribing to them based on what their challenge is and what's actually going to help them. Based on where they are and what's going to help them. And here's the thing. When someone is talking to you, when they get a result from talking to you, they are going to want more. Let me tell you this right now. Written posts convert. Audio converts better. Video converts even better. Conversations converts even better. In-person converts best. So the more connected they are to you, because they can feel your aura, they can sense your tone of voice, they're connecting with you. It's this depth of relationship that they're having with you that is not the same as just the writing. It doesn't mean that when you're an excellent copywriter, obviously you can paint the picture and people can feel you, but there's something about your voice and there's something about when they see you, when they're interacting with you. That's why your friends love you. Because when they're around you, you're a hoot. You're like, oh my God, I love this woman. It's the same. They feel that shit. But remember, they've already been sold from the video. They've already like, I want to work with this person from the video. They're already sold on you. So you're not selling them. They're already sold from step 1. All you're doing is allowing them to feel that safety to then walk into the decision. Okay? So here's the secret. The big secret is that the sale happens in step 1. The video is where the sale happens. The sale happens in step 1. When I was getting 34 no's in a row, that girl watched those 3-4 minute videos and she was a yes before she had a conversation with me. I remember I had a mastermind. It was called my Rule Breaker Mastermind. And the first round I did, it was $2,500 per month. It was a 10-month mastermind. And I remember this woman, I didn't know her. I'd never seen her. She'd never seen me. And in fact, when I asked her how she found me, she said, I don't know. She said, I don't know. But she watched one video and she paid for that mastermind. $2,500 a month. She didn't know me before. She wasn't on a master class. She didn't sign up for a master class. She wasn't doing no crazy thing. All she did was watch that one video where I was talking about what that mastermind was going to entail, following the format that I take my clients through, and she paid $2,500 a month for someone that she just met. That's what's possible. It's not about how much content you produce. Okay? It's not about that. You still get to produce your content. You still get to show, because that's your art. That's your expression. But the secret is that the sale happens in step 1. Step 2 and step 3 are just the natural progression. Wait, you're saying things? Right, exactly. The sale happens in step 1. Step 2 and 3 are just a natural progression of someone who wants to work with you. And I remember having this happen back in the day when I used to do a video series when I would sell my high-level masterminds. Okay, this was years ago. And it would be like part 1 video series, part 2, part 3, and I would do the video series. And then I remember this lady, she already knew she was gonna wanna buy, but she asked to have a conversation with me. And she got on the phone just to say, I'm just calling to tell you I can't wait to work with you. I'm already a yes, I'm already in. I'm actually gonna sign up right now on the call. She signed up on the call, but she was just like, I just wanna say hi. I'm excited. So step 2 and 3 are natural progressions once you've mastered the art of step 1. And that's what a lot of people don't recognize. I've used this to sell out live events, to sell out high-ticket masterminds, to sell out one-on-one, to sell out courses, to sell out memberships, to sell out self-study, passive products. I used to have a funnel that I would run ads to with a quiz, and it would literally generate me hundreds and hundreds of dollars every single month on autopilot without me having to do anything except just tweak the ads here and there. And it was because there was a video on the thank you page for the quiz that sold a $19 offer that people just could not resist. It was also probably, I think, maybe like a 10-minute video or something like that. It's not about how long the video is. I've done this on live streams. Right, VJ? But there's a specific way to do the video. It's not just any video. I've done this on live streams. I remember the first time I had a successful group program launch, I literally did this. And then two people bought live. Because my audience was really small at the time, maybe like 40 something people, and I was just a life coach talking about how to overcome your fear. Okay, so this works in all the industries, this works in all the niches. Okay, so she literally, 2 people bought live, and then I went to bed and sent out an email with a replay, and then 2 people bought from the replay, and I was like, oh my god, people are buying. I was like, it works on one-on-one, it works in group, it works in live event, it works, but there's a specific way to do the video. It's not just any video. That's why you do videos now and you're not necessarily closing sales. So I close, let's see. So when you master this system, here's what changes for you. Okay? You go from chasing and proving and yearning for people to see you, to them seeking you out, to attracting, where they're like, oh man, I want this. You go from just free advice and all this content and content puking all over the place to just having paying clients. Right? You go from hoping it works to knowing you're gonna come off at the end of the day and have sales. Different world. Completely different realm. So I want you to do something with me here. I want you to imagine, deep breath in and exhale. I want you to imagine with me next month seeing an extra $10,000 in your bank account. I want you to imagine an extra $20,000 in your bank account next month. Like, you actually did it. An extra 50 for those of you who that's where you're going in your bank account. And you didn't burn out for it. You didn't have to overgive for it. You didn't have to overexert yourself for it. You didn't have to say, will I post? If I post, will I make money? You didn't have to do any of that. You just knew they were going to buy because you had a process and a framework that was going to get you the result. You see, the clients who are inside of my House of Wealth, I have clients in there who they literally had people buy their events a year in advance. I have clients who they 4x their income from 1 month to the next. 4x their income from 1 month to the next. From 1 month to the next, from 1 month to the next. They're 4xing their income from 1 month to the next. I have clients who've gone through my House of Wealth process who they literally, before they came and joined us, they were doing $0 months because their business had tanked. And within 2 weeks, they're having $8,000 days. Days. So you might be asking yourself, what if this doesn't work for me, Chanel? But that's exactly why inside of my House of Wealth, I have weekly hot seat coaching to support you around this so that you can get the help to spot the blind spots that you don't see. And that's why we have the 4-month minimum so that you're able to actually come in, be immersed, get the results, get the transformation, and you can stay for as long as you want after that. This morning in our chat, we had questions being asked, and I literally responded with like a 20-minute training to support the client through the thing that they needed to shift. There's no way you don't win when you have someone who has been there, who has seen other people go through it, and who can hold the space for you to shift when your human gets in the way. Somebody who knows you, who wants to know you, who gets to know you, who sees your business, sees your things, can see some of your blocks, is not afraid to call you out. I had a client inside the House of Wealth. She was, oh, do you think I'm thinking of, no longer talking about this and then talking about this other thing. And I was just like, that's your sabotage. You've been going back and forth with yourself in this exact thing for X amount of time. This is a sabotage. She's like, oh man, like I will call you out. I will hold you accountable to the thing you say you're going to do. And not just me, but there's a community. And that's the beautiful thing about it, is that there's a sisterhood in there, that we hold each other, everybody holds each other accountable and celebrates each other when they have the massive wins. It's not just about consuming information, it's about you getting real results and actually transforming. So here you might say, well, the sales thing just hasn't been working out for me. Well, guess what? It wasn't working out for me when I was getting 34 no's in a row. And then I became a goddess of sales. I literally taught a course back in 2016 called Goddess of Sales. Because my sales conversion rate turned to 80% conversions. Okay? And the thing about it too is that it's not you doing the selling. The video is going to do the heavy lifting for you. And one of the things that I have as a bonus that I'm adding for my hotties coming in as we go into October, because the month here is done now, is I'm giving them the AI prompt so that you don't even have to figure it out on your own. I've made it so easy that you'll be able to get the exact script for your video that will make you multiple 5 figures. Like the one I have that's 8 minutes long that makes me multiple 5 figures and beyond, because it's still pinned there for a reason. Because even when I'm taking a break, that video is working for me. I am not working, the video is working. You're tired of selling? Well, the video will sell for you. So whether it's that you want to do it as an evergreen, or you want to do it as a live thing, or you want to do it however it is, we will look at that with you inside of our hot seats so you can create your sustainable business that's going to simply work. You might say, well, I don't have time for another program. The truth is, you don't have time to not fix this. You heard how much you're leaving on the table. If you're trying to make 20K months, 50K months, that's $600,000 that you're burning by not fixing this. But yet still you're also spending time posting however many times a day, coming up with however many posts, coming up with however many pieces of content. You actually literally cannot afford not to learn this thing and actually be able to get the support to implement it. Yes, exactly. I will call you out. You know this. So how much time are you wasting creating content that's not converting? How many months? How many years have you drawn up, this is my goal, and then it still didn't happen? And then next quarter comes, this is my goal, I'm serious this time. No shade, I've been there, baby girl. But it's time to change. It's time to stop that, isn't it? Okay? So I've helped hundreds of women across 32 different countries, across 28 different industries in this world to shift, to grow their businesses, to go from under earners to icons. Okay? And I'm literally going to show you inside the House of Wealth, we're going to build out this system with you. The one that I'm using personally to build my multi-million-dollar business henceforth. You can come join me and build yours too, side by side. So here's why you want to join the House of Wealth now. Because I do these hot seats and these coaching, I really do not take in a lot of people inside of this container. I just cannot. Okay? It's not feasible to take in a lot of people at a time because it requires me to have the spaciousness to be able to know who you are, know what's going on in your business, be able to hold that space for you in our hot seats. Okay? And so I do have a limited amount of space. So if this is something that you actually do want to do, I would highly recommend that you come and join us now. So that you can fix this shit, okay? So you can fix this and have the thing that you've been wanting in your business. So once the spots are full, I close enrollment and then I open enrollment when I have more capacity. Then I'll open it up and then we might scale out some things and we can open it up and things like that. Okay? But remember that every single day that you do not know and get this support, every day, every single day, there's a bank roll winding down. So for example, if you wanted to make 50K months, let's use 25K because that's what Alicia said in the chat. That's $75,000 between plus 75,000, right? Divided by 90. That's $833 every single day you're throwing away from not being in this, every day. So if we times that by 97, which is however many days are left in the year, that's $80,833 that you are burning for every day that you are not learning this whole thing. And you know what's happening? You're still showing up, you're still posting content, you're still in the game, you're still believing in yourself, and you're still going in. So you have two choices. Keep doing what you're doing, insanity. Keep doing what you're doing, okay, and creating content that gets you likes and that people see, or sometimes it falls into the abyss. Okay, keep working harder, keep showing up, keep believing in yourself, keep pumping yourself up every single day, saying that today is the day. Every week, then you cry at night, you have a mental breakdown, and you say like, when's it gonna be my turn? You're really tired of this. Next bill comes in, and you're like, when's it gonna be my turn? And then you wake up the next day, and you do your mindset practice, and then you show up again, and you give it your all. No, I'm not watching you. I don't have cameras in your house. I did not see you ugly cry in person. I just work with a lot of high achievers who've been there, and I help them to get out of it. And I've also been there myself. So you can do that, hoping someday, or you can master the system that turns your posts and your content and your videos into actual paydays, piping hot paydays. So I'm inviting you to join the House of Wealth. It is $397 per month. Yes, ridiculous, I know, but you're welcome in advance. And in it, you have a 4-month minimum, right? Because we want to make sure that you're getting the support. After that, you can stay for as long as you want. I have ladies in there who are in their 2nd year. There's a reason they stick around, okay? So you can stay as long as you want, but if after 4 months, if you've made all the money you want, you've learned the thing, you're like, oh, I feel good, you can go. Or you're like, you know what, this is not for me, you can go after the minimum. And in it, you're getting access to the complete Seductive Sales Trifecta system. You're getting access to weekly office hours with me personally, yeah. You're getting all of my money management strategies, because inside the House of Wealth, we actually have four principles. We have making money, okay? So you're making money. So everything we've talked about here is literally just one step within one step of the whole process, making money. We have managing money, because a lot of entrepreneurs, you'll make the money and then you're like, I have nothing left to show. We fix that. You get the whole managing money thing too, so that you're able to actually stabilize real wealth and become work optional if you want to. Have an investment portfolio, pay off the debts, remove every shame and guilt for your past spending. We do deep inner healing work around the money. Okay? We have multiplying your money. So this is where we're going into the quantum, the energetics, because this system here is the how to make the money. But then we go into quantum, the thing that I do with my clients that has them 4xing from one month to the next. Alex says, yay, Alex is in the house. Alex says, House of Wealth is game changing. On the fence, jump across. You're welcome. Tell them again, Alex, baby. And by the way, Alex is one of the hotties who I'm mentioning here, the 4x from one month to the next. So the third thing we do in there is we multiply your money. And in multiplying your money, we're talking about these quantum principles, supernatural wealth. Like, it's fun, but it's also where we do the deep inner healing work, the ancestral stuff. Any little thing about inner healing around money, we have somatic practices around your voice, around getting rid of scarcity out of your pelvis and activating creativity and magnetism. Like, it gets fun when we look at multiplying money. But we gotta get you out of this thing where you want to stabilize your own making it, managing it so you can exhale and feel good, multiplying it, and then we look at the final realm, which is maintaining it. Because a lot of you might have a big month and you're like, oh my god, I made 9K, oh my god, I made 7K, oh my god, I made, and then what happens the next month? Did you continue or did you go back down, sometimes lower? Because your thermostat's not set, so we gotta maintain it. So we have integration weeks inside of the House of Wealth so that we are locking in who you are, right? Alex says, yes, do one pelvic exercise from the vault and boom, invoice paid. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, guys, let me just screenshot this. I'm not saying it. Look, I'm just saying, she says she did one pelvic exercise from the vault and boom, she got an invoice paid. That's the multiplying the money energy right there. That's the multiplying the money energy right there. Okay? So you get all of that, plus you get a community of hotties, rock stars, badass hotties from all across the world who are going to be in there with you, who are going after the same kind of goals. They're going for their 7-figure year. They're going for what it is that they want. They're creating movements. They're creating legacies. They're creating things for their family and for themselves. They're creating wealth. That's what you're moving. That's what you're going to be moving towards when you join us. Right? Not just talking about it, not just vision boarding it and journaling about it. No, but they're moving towards it and they're showing up to the hot seats and they're getting the support and they're letting themselves be seen and they're taking up space. All right? So I'm going to drop the link because, I mean, what else do you need to hear? You don't need to hear anything else other than like, oh my God, I'm in. Like, you're in, obviously. You're smart, so you will be in. Duh. Let me just drop the link here. And yes, as I said, there will be a bonus where you will get the prompts. So Alex, you didn't even hear this yet, but like I'm giving you guys a prompt, some prompts, and it's not on ChatGPT, by the way. It's something that's even better, but it's gonna help you to come up with your script and your unique process so that you're able to just replicate your seductive sales method without needing to be posting, and then not having it work. Here's the link to join us. So there's the link for the House of Wealth. And again, because of the support that I give inside of these hot seats, like Alex will tell you, like today wasn't even a hot seat day, and I think I dropped like a 20-minute audio or something like that, and it wasn't even a hot seat day. But I dropped things in there for you, and the level of care that I give, because of that, we do keep it as a very intimate space. So if it is something that you are wanting, don't sleep on it, jump in, because I can only help as many people as I can help while it's at the investment that it is at, okay? And I will also say, there's something else that I do too, where I actually share with you the real behind the scenes of what goes on in business, right? Like the real behind the scenes, the CEO codes. We call them super boosts, but they're powerful activations around the different things that you're going through. You think like, oh, I remember there was a day I like dropped a super boost and then somebody was like, oh my God, I was gonna ask that question. And the super boost that I dropped on the day was the exact thing they wanted to hear. Okay? So join us, because next week you could literally be in a completely different realm, a completely different world when it comes to your finances and your business, completely different world when it comes to your leadership and your power and your magnetism and your authority. I was literally gonna say I love the behind the scenes, right? Because I'm literally sharing with you, okay, this is the fear that's coming up, this is how I'm navigating it, boom, this is what happened after I navigated it. like raw, real, unfiltered. Like I've never had a mentor do something like that. It's crazy. But as a line 3 in human design who is working through trial and error, I know that my job is to teach from experience as well. So I do share those things, especially because it helps you to know that you're not alone. All right, so next week you could be in a whole other realm, right? You could be implementing this instead of thinking about it. You could be getting support instead of figuring it out on your own. You could be held in a portal, in a paradigm, in a frequency where you shift rather than trying to figure it out by yourself. And then crying at night and then coming back tomorrow morning and then going back down again and then come. No, we just shift you into the paradigm where you win. Done. Okay? So click the link, join us, and let's turn your actual efforts into paydays, piping hot paydays. And with that, I will say thank you for watching. And for those of you who come and join me, I cannot wait to celebrate you on this journey. All right? See you inside. You guys, wait, should I take questions? Let's take some questions. You guys have any questions before I hop off? Questions about the House of Wealth, questions about what I've shared here. And by the way, I didn't even mention like the amount of courses you get. You get literally like, there's so many courses, behind the scenes courses. The vault is crazy. The vault is an $18,000 vault. No questions. All right, perfect, VJ. Any questions, Alicia, if you're still here? And Alex, you can ask questions too. Thank you for all the love, Alex. Happy that you were on here. This makes me so happy. Let me share this to the Facebook group while I wait for the rest of you to tell me if you have questions or not. And I look forward to celebrating those of you who come and join us. It's going to change your life. Oh, love it. Thank you, VJ. I appreciate, love you. Mwah, times 1,000. Let's see here. So I think we probably don't have any more questions unless Alicia is typing. No questions, thank you. Okay, I was wondering if you were typing a question. All right, thank you so much for being on here, guys. I'm just posting this inside of my group. No cues. Alex says no cues. Have a good night. Thank you. All right, darling. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you guys. And feel free to share. If you have a business friend who might find value in this, share this with them, because you never know who this might actually be a good fit for. And somebody might have just popped into your head. Share it with them. At the end of the day, they'll be able to be led if it's something that they're meant to watch and something they're meant to follow up with, okay? But share it with someone. Okay, thank you, guys.